Race 5 at Ascot jumps at 2:40. It's the DFO Perth handicap over 1,200 metres, and we haven't seen this galloper in a little while. We'll take a look at the most recent trial of Gifted Warrior.
And Be That Poet coming down with 3:50 to go. Magical Charge just ridden up a little bit now. Has grabbed new time on the inside, coming at them Disco-rific, and now Gifted Warriors coming down the outside but under the whip, and further out is Everything Sweet. In front doing it pretty well over the final stages though is Magical Charge. It's holding Disco-rific and Magical Charge.
We've seen Gifted Warrior return its best figures so far fresh in its campaign, so either first up or second up. And so far it's had 2 trials, both of them it hasn't been asked for too much at all, just managed to get itself with a bit of cover back in the field, and it was doing its best work late in both of those trials. I think from gate 9 it should be probably playing a similar tactic here, try and go back in the field, find a bit of cover and use a turn of foot late. But it is one of the horses that will be there towards the end, you'd think, if the tempo up front suits. Second pick is a 7, Soitan Rapido, who was ridden to perfection last start by Chloe as a party. She took the galloper straight to the front and it just proved a nightmare to get past. You'd have to think she'll try the same tactics in this event. Third pick is the 1, Unicat, who's debuting for the Durant team after formerly being with Darren McAuliffe. It's a pretty strong on-speed galloper, but all of its runs so far have been at longer distances than 1,200 metres, so that has to be a query for this event. And then the 4th pick is the 5, Centuria, who last start wasn't suited at all, being in the breeze, and then had to cope with a mid-race slowdown, which didn't suit that galloper. I think from gate 3 it can settle itself in the first 4, and it should get a bit more of a comfortable run in transit, despite not really having too much 1,200 metre form at all. Top pick in race 5 is the 3, Gifted Warrior, from the 7, Soitan Rapido, 1, Unicat, and 5, Centuria. Race 6 at Ascot jumps at 3:15. It's the May Routledge's birthday celebration handicap over 1,400 metres, and our horse in focus was last seen at Pinjarra. That horse was Geograph Bay.
Half in front, it's Valago clear from Fashion Forward. Golden Arches down the outside. Geograph Bay starting to wind up. It's cutting back towards the inside, but Valago's clear down to the 150. Valago a length in front, 3/4, a half. Geograph Bay's coming. Valago, Geograph Bay split it. Valago clung on, I think.
Geograph Bay on that occasion was a little bit slow to begin. It floated back through the field, but it got a bit of clear air in the straight and really accelerated hard towards the finish. In a race that was just behind Valago. It ran a super strong last 600, last 400 and last 200. So I'm expecting from gate 4, Sean McGruddy on board, the horse should land in pretty much a perfect position. And if it can reproduce that turn of foot late, it should be pretty hard to get past. Second pick is the 10, which is Divine Quest, and it's another horse that finished with a great burst last start. It floated right back towards last in the field, but then ran the fastest last 400 and last 200 on the card off what was a slow speed. So I guess it was entitled to finish well. But again, from gate 5, it's another horse that might benefit from being a fraction closer towards the speed. Third pick is the 5, Start the Friar. It's a horse that we've seen previously run big 400 splits off slow tempo, so it does look to get that here again. Recent trial was only fair. It looked like it needed the run for a bit of fitness. And then 4th pick is a 6, Artie's Jewels, who continually seems to be floating back through the field. I suspect the same might happen again from gate 8, but again, if it can find a bit of a soft run and gets the right tempo up front, he does have a nice turn of foot as well. 1 on top in race 6, Geograph Bay, from the 10, Divine Quest, 5, Start the Friar, and 6, Artie's Jewels. Race 7 at Ascot jumps at 3:45. It's the Sheila Gwynn Classic. It's a listed race, fillies and mares, over the 1,400 metres. And for our horse in focus, let's take a look at the last start performance of Lady Cosmology.
Fabergino at the top of the straight, led Market Ruler, Lady Cosmology. She's looking for the rails runner. Electric Light's a further length away from Celebrity Dream. Market Ruler joined Fabergino. Now Lady Cosmology and Electric Light, 4 across the track. Electric Light reaches the lead. Celebrity Dream's running on. It's Electric Light. Lady Cosmology diving at it all. They hit it. Electric Light.
It was a strong return performance by Lady Cosmology. It found the fence on that occasion, didn't necessarily have to run around any other galloper, but its personal best is over the 1,400 metres, and its last 200 suggested that it was dying for this trip. So really looking forward to seeing this galloper back up towards the 1,400. From gate 3, Chris Parnham has every option. I expect he might very well take up the running with this horse. And we saw last preparation during the 3-year-old features. It was very strong over this sort of distance range. Second pick is the 1 Celebrity Dream, who had a much better improved performance last start. Got itself with a little bit of cover and was finishing well late in that small field. From gate 7, I expect Willie Pike might even settle this horse 1 out, 1 back, or try and ride it a bit more forwards. But that was a much improved performance, and looking for the extra 200 metres is what the last sectional suggested for that galloper. Third pick is a 3 Electric Light, where you can't knock this horse. It won last start. It's ultra consistent. It ran a really big 600 to 400 metre split and was just really strong late. I'm expecting as well, the more this horse goes up towards that 14 and 1600 metre mark, it should be better suited as well. And then fourth pick is a 2 Ms Lecky, who has done nothing wrong this preparation so far. It's just that the gate from 8, it probably isn't as favourable as what it had last start, where it really enjoyed a perfect run in transit and was way too strong late. 4 on top in the Sheila Gwynn Classic, Lady Cosmology on top for me. From the 1 Celebrity Dream, 3 Electric Light and 2 Ms Lecky. Race 8 at Ascot jumps at 4:20. It's the Montague Partners WA Sires Produce Stakes, the Group 3 for the 2-year-olds over 1400 metres. And our horse in focus, let's take a look at the last start performance of Marcy a Lady.
More than a length on Pure Dynamite with Marcy a Lady searching for an inside run. They're being followed by Downforce over on the outside. Well back the remainder. Pretty Style is the leader coming to the 100. It's Pretty Style 1.5 lengths in front for Marcy a Lady, who can't do any better, and it'll be 2 wins within the week for Pretty Style. Pretty Style won by almost a length. Marcy.
I'm going with a little bit of an upset in the Sires Produce. I thought Marcy a Lady, it hasn't been suited at all at either or any of its 3 runs so far this preparation. It's been jumping from wide barriers, restrained back through the field. Last start we saw it was held up for a vital time coming around the corner and just didn't necessarily get clear momentum. I think this horse will appreciate the step up to 1400. We've seen half sister Lady Cosmology lap up the 14 and 1600 metres, and Marcy a Lady is the only horse in this event who's shown a positive last 200 metres, or last final sectional, over the 1200 metre journey. So I'm looking for this horse going up over distance, that's for sure. Second pick is a 3 Tin Snip, who's a son of Mabel Grace, who definitely enjoyed 14 and 1600 metre events. And it's just been running quite consistently this preparation. It's been restrained back through the field on most occasions, but really making wide sustained runs. And I think that will stand it in good stead, stepping up to the 1400. My third pick is the 2 Beethoven, who really had no luck at all in the Karrakatta. It jumps okay, but then was restrained back into traffic and just never looked comfortable at all. I think from gate 3, it should be either leading or just behind the leader. It gets a much kinder run in transit. And then the fourth pick is the 1 Dig Deep. Well, you can't ignore winning form. It just accelerated. As soon as it found that gap in the straight during the Karrakatta, it hit the line really well. It just possibly doesn't get the same map here. It might be behind 1 or 2 others who have a bit of a kinder draw on this occasion, but you can't ignore that Karrakatta Plate performance. 9 on top for me each way, Marcy a Lady, from the 3 Tin Snip, 2 Beethoven and 1 Dig Deep. Race 9 at Ascot jumps at 4:50. It's the Kieran Megumi handicap over 1400 metres, and our horse in focus will take a look at the last start of Flying Raw.
Harry Thomas hit the front at the top of the straight. The favourite joined it. Beautiful Mind very quickly though. 2 lengths Skin and Tins, Tonka Tough. Beautiful Mind at the 150 from Harry Thomas. Skin and Tins, the roughie is down the outside, but it's Beautiful Mind kicking strongly. Beautiful Mind, Skin and Tins lunging at it. Beautiful Mind, Skin and Tins split it. Skin and Tins might have just got it.
Flying Raw, we only got to see the tail end of it there, but it wasn't suited at all first up this preparation. It jumped okay, was restrained a little bit to find cover, but then was shuffled back through the field, ended up last on the corner and was definitely doing its best work late. Really picked up in the straight. The map in this occasion from gate 9 and Chloe Azzopardi jumping on board, it just maps to sit in the breeze or potentially lead if stablemate New Time doesn't want to take the lead. I think with all things considered, it should be pretty strong through the line. It does its best work over 1400 metres. It does tick a lot of boxes in this event. Second pick is the stablemate, the 1 New Time. It draws really soft from gate 3. It should be able to put itself right onto the speed with Jade McNaught on board. And its 2 trials have been pretty good on returning. They've just both been solid. The horse is 11 years old, so you have to factor that in. But if it's at big odds, it's certainly a horse that you could include in novelties, especially if it's paying a big place dividend. Third pick is the 8 Fryers Fantasia. It's another horse that does have some ability to settle on speed, and not many of these gallopers in this event do. Gate 11 is a little bit tricky, but last start we saw it settle in the breeze on a slow tempo and was quite strong through the line. I'll put in fourth pick, the 2 Fryers Gift, Again, just ran a nice race at Albany. It sat in the box seat, picked up in the straight and was just good through the line. Brodie Kirby's jumping on board, which I think is a good move. The jock will be pretty hungry to come back into race riding with a few wins, and no doubt this horse seems to map in a good spot for Brodie. On top in the last, the 3 Flying Raw from 1 New Time, 8, which is Fry's Fantasia, and 2 Fry's Gift. Best bets for Good Friday, race 4, number 4, Olga Louisa, and race 7, number 4, Lady Cosmology. Lady Cosmology is my best on the card. That's it for me and us here on the box seat. If you'd like to keep up to date with us here at Perth Racing, check out our website or follow us on social media. I'll be back later in the week to preview the Saturday meeting from Ascot. Until then, go well.